Hello and welcome back to sunny Italy. It's still sunny, it's still hot. I mean, I have to say it's on every single link, it's hot. Coming up next is RCGP qualifying round 2. Well, we'll maybe get some controversy, but there's some interesting things that happened in RCGP qualifying heat 1. Why don't we find out what they were? And they're away, and look, it was clean this time. No one hit anybody. But it's they're going to come through. Is it Canas? No, it's Canas who leads from Robert, from Hess, from Zanchetin. Ongaro now needs to get up and after the leader, which is Canas. He's got plenty of time. There's 3 minutes and 2 laps to do it. But the lead for Canas was 2.8 seconds. Ongaro is making no progress whatsoever in getting nearer to Canas. You've got Berg, Ronald Falcon, Boots. As they come round the Italia corner and come back onto the quintuple, sorry. 3 and 2. Here goes, nice driving again by Hampus. He's holding back his team leader. Oh, look at the inside, and at the same time, of course, it's enabling Boots in the red car to get closer to them. Yellow wheels for Hampus, white wheels for when they fit each other, and the result of that is that bad news for Ron Falke. He tapped the back of. He just taps the back of. Berg has got kind of a fishtail on there, gets the wrong way and puts the power down, slightly upsets Boots, but the net result was he was the big loser out of that one. Well, a relatively simple win for Juan Carlos Canas. Not doing so well was David. David, have you had a bit of a word with your teammate Hampus Berg? He did seem to be holding up rather.
We were racing for position. I guess I tried to get by him on the inside because I saw he pushed a bit wide. Tangled a bit there. I lost a couple of positions, but that's not really what kind of set me down in the first round there. I had a good start. I was third, going behind Valente and Elliott, and then Valente decided to run right over Elliott, and I I found myself outside of the track, was dead last, then tried to work up through the field in a 5-minute race is kind of short time without like doing any kind of a aggressive move. I tried to wait for the gap to be presented before I can put my nose in there. A couple of others, they don't. So, it's frustrating, but hopefully I can get some good runs here in Q2 and Q3 so I can make it to the Super Bowl.
Yes. Hampus, have you met this guy before?
Yes, I have.
Now, I believe he's the team leader, isn't he?
Yes.
Any reason you held him up for 4 laps?
I have no good answer of that one. I think it was, I don't know.
I've just told him to drive. It's fine. I shouldn't be behind. That's the thing. So this time I couldn't. It wasn't really my fault, but I ended up being behind him there in the start, even though I was on the front gate. But I should be getting better starts, and that's. It's gate starts, and it seems like it doesn't work out for me. So I can't wait for the grid start in the main. Very
magnanimous, but I'd just like to point out that when David Ongaro came round past Tom Roban for second and third, Tom just moved out of the way. Have you considered just moving out of the way?
Yes. No, it was a bad choice.
This is the team that obviously made that before. Thank you both. That's great. Let's get on with Heat 2.
And we are back. And another exciting RC2 race. Congratulations to them. And we are the RCGP drivers are getting warmed up. I was just up there talking to a lot of them. They are thrashing. Some of them are looking to, talking to the Viking. He's not too happy with how things are going, so he says this round he's going to put it down. Canas looking fast as usual. And
so we have the standings. You haven't changed very much, apart from that David Ongaro's got... No, sorry, Juan Carlos Canas's got an extra point, hasn't he, from winning that round? So he's still cut down in 15th place overall because he didn't have a very good result in the the two finals yesterday, which puts him at the bottom of the list of the people currently in that top 15. But on his way up, and obviously a good start there. Ronald Falk and Hampersberg being very polite to each other. I think there's probably been a conversation had. Hampers looked a little bit kind of chastised by the whole concept. I think going, I shouldn't have been there. Anyway, I'm sure that won't happen again. But that's the joys of teamwork. Sometimes your teammate is absolutely on the same wavelength. Other times they get slightly confused about what they're supposed to be doing. But anyway, it doesn't really matter that much. As I think Ronald Falk said, the key point for him is actually getting to enjoy the long final.
Yeah, that's what he looks forward to. He's prepping for the Worlds. That's what he has in his brain, I believe. And he wants to get as many 60-minute finals as he can. He did dominate the 60-minute final in South Carolina. And I believe they recently had a 60-minute final at the...
I don't know the World's World. I think it was 60. I wasn't sure it was 60 or 45. It was probably
remember.
60, I think.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
what they tend to do is on World Championship years, the European finals also 60 minutes. It's normally 45 minutes, but they make it as a practice for the World. It becomes an hour. I'm not sure what will happen in Portugal. It's but something to watch out for because that's obviously going to be available in a few weeks. We'll be live with that on RCTV and on EFRA as well. This is, of course, an EFRA sanctioned event here at the RCGP.
which is awesome to hear. As Greg Degani always says, we should have more 60-minute finals. And he says this all the time. He's been telling Joey to have a 60-minute final for 20 years, he says.
Yeah, it's very hard when you've got 7,000 competitors doing 700 finals. It's quite difficult. You could probably then until the next year. Yeah. I'm surprised they get 40. I'm surprised they didn't knock them all out in 6 minutes. No, 6-minute final. Off you go. Thanks for the cash. Keep on entering.
Yeah. Do you prefer the longer finals or the short ones? They both have their advantages.
No, I think the IC races, they need to be of a length. I don't think necessarily you gain much more by going over 45 minutes to an hour. I think it's a much better to have a 45-minute final than a 15-minute final. Absolutely, that's why that's where you can get the tactics and everything else playing out, and you get a much bigger spread of how people are looking at fuel strategy and tyre strategy. The extra 15 minutes. I suppose it depends on the race. Sometimes it can be 15 minutes of absolute tedium, and sometimes it can be the greatest action you've ever seen. But yeah, I think the final should definitely be 45 minutes. And and if you get special events like this, or special events like the Worlds, absolutely go for an hour.
Yeah, that last little 15 minutes means a lot too.
It's difficult. Your legs hurt more when you're standing up there. These guys are professionals, but it's a concentration test more than anything else. But I think anything where you get to about 6 or 7 pit stops, it's fine.
Yeah, I love the pit strategy of Nitro, and not only that, just picking the right tires, diff oil, setting up your car. Robert Badier was the master of that. He was able to have a car that wasn't so great at the beginning,
but he's still around.
He's still around. It's
almost like he's retired, or worse, died.
He just hasn't been able to accomplish that. He did have a good run. He did look good at the warm-ups, though.
Yeah, well, recently. Robert's been around for a long time, like all of us. Age may catch up with you, but it's a brave man who bets against Robert on a very long final, that's for sure.
That is correct.
So, those of you who are with us all day, just to say that after this RCGP race, we then have the RC2 Last Chance Qualifier, and then the next RCGP Qualifier 3. So after having a 2-hour gap between the first and the second one, they've got an hour between the second and third.
Okay.
Or not even an hour, actually. When they kind of finish, they've got about 45 minutes. And there we go. There's a technical problem there. Is that Max Hesse's car that's got a problem? Probably is Max Hesse, because Max Hesse is a person who got off the rostrum to get his own car. So the Hesse car is causing problems. Beats running out. Always all going on this warm-up, and then as you say that, Lee Martin's tumbling towards me. So there's been there's quite a lot of
Beats going out to turn marshal.
Yeah, there's the RCGP guys are providing their own marshals, so you have some very high ups in the RC world having to do some work.
Be it over there, the Scuderia Scampi Rosso team manager, a very nice man. I was talking to him earlier. He said to say to everybody in America, mi casa is tu casa. That's what he said. And he wants the Americans to come over and race more in Europe, he was telling me.
Well, I think we all want that. Because I want to see him get beaten. Oh, the beef.
Oh,
the beef. Yes, he's trying to cause controversy for the sake of controversy. Well, I'll give it a go. Right, they're walking out now for the gate starts. Not quite. I think it's going to be Ronafalk, Martin, Quadgreen, Boots, Valenti, and Brunson in the front row. So all the big troublemakers are in the back row this time. Ongaro, Robin Hasberg, Sanchez, and Juan Carlos Canas. A bit of revving going on. Okay. Cars are in the air. There's 8 in the front row and 4 in the back row. That's interesting. Or are there? No, there are. Well, have we lost one before we start? I'm not sure. Maybe a car down, but let's find out as they go past. The jumble of machines, and coming out of the lead is Elliot Boots. It's Boots from Ronafalk. Ronafalk's finally made a start. Quadgreen's in third, and it's Lee Martin in fourth as they go around. And yeah, we have lost cars. We lost both Hess and Zanchetti. I thought we were short of machines. So just 10 cars taking the start here. We saw Hess have an issue earlier. Zanchetti didn't see his problem, but it's just one JQ and one just beat RC. Bad news for Hess, who got a fourth in the first round. But up at the front, it's Boots versus Ronafalk. So we're back to the European Champions of 2016, aren't we, Matt?
Yeah, Boots was on the inside line of the gate, and he got a very clean start, it looks like. It looks like the spot to be there on the front row. And finally, a great start for the Viking.
Ongaro down in 7th and Canas in 5th. So Valente also had a bad one last time. He's in 6th. So it's kind of the odd one out in 3rd place. It's JQ from JQSM team. He's actually currently holding up Canas, but the first two are right together as Boots leads over the invisible speed bridge up and round that constant left-hander whilst they climb down past timing and scoring onto the paving slab on the main straight. A little bit of gain there, I think, for Boots. I think Boots just eased out a tiny amount of Ronafalk. It actually passed the timing line. The timing line said 0.3 a second. It's a lot more 0.3 a second now. So Ronafalk didn't get great drive onto the straight, and he's now dropped back a second. Now, what's happened is that the car has been released behind. Yes, now Ongaro is now in 3rd. He got released somehow, I think, when Quadgreen and Canas came together. So it's now 1, 2, 3 is Boots, Ronafalk, Ongaro. And all we need really is Ricky Burton to be here. We'd have every single European champion for the last goodness knows how many years. And world champion who's come from Europe. So we have a double TQ. So first and second, so second and third now getting very close together, which is coming over the quintuple now, which is the white Mayako car of David Ronafalk and his nemesis. It's certainly an RCGP. It's David Ongaro. Ongaro now hunting him down. 3 minutes to go. Plus, Ongaro makes a mistake. That's a surprise. On the entrance to the bridge, entrance to the tunnel, he made a mistake. Wow.
And it looks like Ronafalk is gaining on Boots a little bit. He picked up some
and
speed.
Slightly Boots there. He's got himself a couple of tenths of a lead. Coming over the first half of the quintuple with Boots at the moment, with our leader.
Looks like we had an accident. Oh, Ronafalk is out.
Coming underneath the bridge right now. Boots is out.
Ronafalk.
So we've lost Ronafalk. Oh, gosh. Oh, well. So there, his good start was for Nout. We've lost. It's now S-Works, Scampi Rosso Associated, and it's Boots leading. Second place just behind me. See, that is his teammate, Juan Carlos Canas, and then David Ongaro. So the ability to buy a break appears not to exist for Ronafalk. So it's very unlikely Ronafalk will get into Super Bowl. Don't forget that immediately after Heat 3, we have Super Bowl. So they don't even get off the rostrum after Heat 3 for Super Bowl.
That's going to be interesting. I'll have to go see what happened to the Viking after the show.
No, they're trying to restart. It's not restarting, so it's obviously not flame for any other reason. Perhaps a fouled plug, or it may just be it's got a bit tired. But right now, this is what we want to see. It's Ongaro versus Canas actually on the road rather than out the start gate. Maybe Ongaro just trying to. I mean, obviously, Ongaro was very upset with Juan Carlos Canas yesterday for a couple of less than. Well, he felt the starts were aggressive to the point of stupidity, of clownism, but now they're actually on the track, and Ongaro obviously kind of prides himself on his fairness. So interesting, actually, at that point, again, the drive by Canas coming onto the main straight was so good it put him away from Ongaro and towards Boots. So 1, 2, and 3 in the same frame now. It's the two S-Works leading out. A little bit of a scuffage there from Boots. But he continues to lead. He'll be braking hard. Now he knows he's got a train of cars behind him. He's literally just going to try and hold them back for the next 48 seconds and 2 laps. It's going to be 4 laps in base. This one, and then the other one, and then the 2 extra laps. That's brilliant English, Nicholas. So they go over the single onto the Italian flagged corner. 1, 2, and 3 landing. Oh, a little bit of a touch there from Ongaro on Canas. Blue and white, of course, is Ongaro. And they've got the yellow wheels of Canas and the white wheels, S-Works, are the ones that belong to Elliot Boots. So Boots, of course, lives down the... Because Canas has got through. So Canas actually overtook both of them there. So if Boots made a mistake, dropped down to 3rd. Canas takes the lead. Ongaro is 2nd. And now Boots sets aside. Did you see that? I didn't even see that.
Oh, I missed it.
There's a couple of bits we can't see. Let's look again, see what happened.
Oh, Boots made a mistake.
Ah, that's what happened. There are a couple of tiny bits which are quite hard for us to see on the camera here, on the commentary position. I was actually looking out the window rather than the screen, so luckily we caught that one. So he just overturned that corner, and Boots actually has dropped quite a bit further off this lap. So in an attempt to push, he's gone backwards. It's Canas again looking for his 2nd win in a row. Ongaro took 2 bites at the corner there on the paving slabs. Not giving up yet. Gap's just 0.7 of a second. They're on the penultimate lap now. So Ongaro lines up the first part of the quintuple and the second part, getting a little bit closer all the time. But I think Canas now knows he just has to kind of... Basically, if you brake really hard here, cover the inside, it makes it really hard to get past for any of the next few corners. It kind of goes single line all through here and over start finish. Then it's about the drive, and side by side. Look at that! It was brilliant. That was the drive which Ongaro got there was superb. It was amazing. He just pulled it right out. So we can watch. This is the last lap. So we have a look at that. That is the deciding factor. We can have another look at the end of this. But there is Ongaro. He just came up the inside and said there's no real overtaking point to that, and so boom, the drive. And it's interesting because we've seen different cars get different level of drives off the main straight. Now, Canas, will he sit behind? There's only a couple of corners to go. He looked for the inside, nibbled it in, but he didn't quite make it. So that was a great finish in the end.
What a great race.
So what actually happened there was they came onto the main straight and suddenly just got the drive. It was just the drive that happened. Lining up, we saw it on 2 other occasions where Boots had the drive or where Canas had the drive. And I don't think they actually know where the drive comes from. I think perhaps it's just whether you kind of hook up.
Look how close they almost come to each other.
But I think that's what it's already been done there. At that point, the performance is already with the blue and white associated and not with the S-Works. But if they knew which bit of this paving slab was giving this grip, they'd be off it every time. It's your chance to read the results now.
Yes, no worries. So, Davide Ongaro takes the win. Juan Carlos Canas in 2nd. Elliot Boots 3rd. Tom Robin 4th. Sorry about that. Impressive run for Tom Robin. Leo Valente will be happy with that 5th place. Hampersburg 6th. JQ 7th. Lee Martin 8th. Kevin Brunson 9th. Alex Zankatine got back on the track for 10th. Ron Falk looks like after a flame out he gets back. And Max Hess would not start today. Unfortunate for Max. And what a great race between Ron Falk and Canas. I mean, I don't know how they did not crash on that straightaway. They had to have touched wheels. They had to have rubbed paint. But I think if Canas and Ongaro touch each other, I think I almost said a bad word to myself. All heck is going to break out. Okay, I'm allowed to say all hell will break out because yesterday Ongaro was really upset with Canas. And Canas, 50-50. So, but Canas looking very impressive once again. He's very fast in these qualifying heats. He's got his S-Works hooked up nice. Boots is looking good, but Ongaro is the man. And unfortunate for Ron Falk again. Looks like he had a technical issue, a flame out. It is very hot today as well, so we might see a lot more flame outs. With that said, we're going to hand you over to Nick to interview the top 3.
Yes, it's just like tried. Oh, they put the music off again. Can't have music. That's the copyright going straight away. Elliot.
Yeah. Got a good start. We was trying finals tyres. A bit harder and that and different design. And it didn't really work. It was quite hard to drive.
I thought you were going to keep it because you're doing the thing you have to do, which is like keeping the corner. And you just clipped one and that was it and they got through and then...
Yeah, just caught that one corner. And they both just got inside of me. But after that. They had pace more than me, so it was hard to catch. So.
Never mind, there's another one to go. It's quite. Of course, you might still make Super Pole.
Yeah. I mean, if we get another good run, then I'll say put our fast tyres back on. We're just trying for the final, and we should be back up there.
Great stuff, thank you. Happy day. Another second place, but a clean. No, first place. Sorry, initially another second place, and then you got to first. Sorry, my brain's gone completely wrong. I was too hot. I got the wrong order. Honestly, fire me. Great. Up to the last lap, you were behind Juan Carlos. What? But
I mean, I'm trying to study where he's maybe less fast than me, but we are trying, like I said before, something for the long final, and it's working great. I mean, doesn't matter to make the TQ because I think we have the Super Pole maybe later. So yeah, really happy about the car now.
So that was with it. So those tyres you had were good for the hour. Be good for the hour, would they?
Yeah, we are trying the medium compound now, but I think for the long main we will put the super soft because doesn't spin on the concrete session. So yeah, we will put I think super soft for the long one, and we'll see.
Great stuff. Juan Carlos, I've got this round the wrong way. I really find someone whose brain works. But Juan Carlos almost won that one. And just the last lap, you didn't get the drive out of the corner.
Yeah, I have a mistake there, but it was a good race. The start was clean, also the end. Good race, yes. We are very similar lap time.
And was that the same sort of? Was that car in the same sort of setup you'll be using for the main final? Or was it still tweaked for 5 minutes?
Yeah, I will use the same. Maybe it's not the fast car for Super Pole, but lap time and consistent is okay, so I will not change.
Thank you, Juan Carlos. So just to remind everybody, unlike me, that it was third place was Elliot Boots, second place Juan Carlos, but the winner actually was Davide Ongaro. Anyway, we will be back very, very soon. Actually, in about less than half an hour with the final qualifying round of RCGP, and of course immediately after that, with no break, it's the Super Pole. But before that, there's going to be an RC2 last chance qualifier. So lots of track action to come. Stay tuned. If you're not going to stay tuned, go and have some lunch. It's quite nice out there. It's a bit warm. We'll be back with you very, very soon.
And welcome back to the last chance qualifier for the RC2 drivers. I am a firm believer in LCQs. They make for some exciting racing. Recently here at the World's warm-up at Redovan, Juan Carlos Canas had to come from the LCQ because he had an issue in the semi, won that, and started at the back of the final. So I am all about LCQs. They make for great racing. If you remember, back at Thunder Alley in RC2 is probably one of the best LCQ races you ever see. It was Little Bump, Colin Herzik, and the Thylacine, Aaron Dexter, all battling it out for the last corner. Little Bump and Herzik made a mistake, and the Thylacine, Aaron Dexter, would pass them in the air on the last jump before the last corner. Then he would go on to finish third. So shout out to Dexter. It's been a long time since I've seen my friends from Australia. Really exciting day. And shout out to all my friends in Australia, Zach and Ben, Tim and Team Parsi, all the wing, Nick. Really gotten to know a lot of the Australians there, and great humor. Great humor. So in this LCQ, you'll have Paolo starting first, Pascal Brown starting second, Carlos Spina third, Adam Reevy fourth, Alice McGregan. Congratulations, Alice. You're so excited to get a 39-second lap in the pros and Joe's race yesterday. Marcus Heine with the weird sticks. His sticks actually go in 45-degree angles. Boots was driving his car yesterday, and Francesco Beccacetti will start seventh. So this is a 15-minute race that will so this is a 15-minute race, and the only one will bump up and join their fellow RC2 competitors in the final, which will be held later on today. So those who do not like LCQs, I know there's some people out there that don't like them. That's fine. I love them. They're great. Let's see what's going on our chat. The final, Stefan says, okay, so there's nobody in the chat, but we have some people watching. Who's in the chat? Let's talk to us, guys, while we watch this warm up. And these guys are going to, are they starting from the grid? Does anybody know? Probably. Grid start. Gate start. Gate start for LCQ. 15 minutes, so it will be at least one pit stop in her, but fuel economy is not been great for a lot of people here because it's very hot. It's also very dusty out there. It doesn't look like that, but it's look like that on video, but there's a fine dust. It's a very small line, and it creates a lot of wheel spin, which in turn consumes a lot of fuel. But these RC2 races have come down. We have racers from all over Europe. In fact, we have one guy from Mexico, Lico. I believe he actually bumped up to the semifinal. Lico had a great race in the 40-plus race yesterday, and just lost it on the last few laps in the chicane of death to Roger Manois. I believe he's from France. So Lico will be looking to do well in RC2 as well. But who will bump up from this LCQ to take a spot in the 45-minute final of the RC2 class? We got the one female racer. Alice is up there rocking her Mayako shirt. She's definitely enjoying the hot weather and the sun, she tells me every day. That's a joke. She is not enjoying the hot weather and the sun, but she's enjoying the racing, and she was well chuffed to have David Ronnefalk drive her car yesterday in the Pros Joe's race and give some. Oh, so we're starting from the grid, apparently, not gate.
No. Tell me to hold it. This is.
And they're off. And let's see who's out front her. It looks like we have Paolo in front, followed by Pascal, Francesco Beccacetti. I think Francesco is a young Italian driver. He'd be looking to bump up here from this and join some of his fellow young Italian countrymen in the RC2 final. This is your last chance qualifier. This is 15 minutes of racing. Francesco Beccacetti has come up to the front. It looks like might have had some issues, and that's why he's in the LCQ. Let's see, I believe he's this orange number 7 car here coming up over the invisible speed bridge and coming under. Yes, this is Francesco, followed by Pascal. These two are going to be able to remember second. Vice champion does not earn anything. You want to win if you want to join the 45-minute final, which will go on later on today. They have 13 minutes, 35 seconds. We will see some fuel stops. But Francesco has Pascal right behind him. They are not too far behind. This is going to be a tight race, barring any incidents. Oh, and Francesco and Pascal gets him underneath the invisible speed bridge, and they come through the time he's going. Pascal takes a lead with Francesco 0.8 seconds behind, and it looks like Francesco has come in for fuel, or he's broken, or something. Oh no, something has happened to Francesco. He's in the pits, and looks like he's retired. Unfortunate for the young Italian. As he walks down the steps, disappointed, looking to win this. Unfortunate. He probably wasn't even supposed to be in this because he's pretty good, but unfortunately, it looks like he has an incident and he will be out. And now Pascal will inherit the lead, and he will be looking to keep it clean, keep it on all fours, and just come home and make it to the final later on today. That's all he really has to do, because he now has a 6.7 second lead over second, which is Paolo. So unfortunate for Francesco Beccetti, but he had to retire early, and he will not be able to join his young fellow Italian racers in the RC2 final. Pascal making the trip from Switzerland with his wife. And I just talked to him before he was, after his semi, he was a little bit disappointed not bumping right up. But if he can finish this 11 minutes and 53 seconds without any incident, he will join the rest of the competitors in the RC2 45-minute final. And yeah, he's looking pretty calm out there right now, driving an X-ray car. His closest let's see how far ahead of Paolo he is at the moment. But unfortunate. I was hoping for a great race between Francesco and Pascal, but Francesco breaking out early. Pascal out to a very comfortable lead over Paolo. He just needs to keep it on all fours and not have any incidents. He has an 8.4 second lead, but Paolo needs to put the pedal to the metal and try to make up some time, because he only has 11 minutes left, and there is no prizes for second place here. There's no vice champions. The only thing that counts is winning and bumping up to the lead. I'd like to take some time to shout out and say thank you to our sponsors: S-Works, Associated Scuderia Scampi Rosso Team, Nemo Agama Racing, host of the next round of RCGP in the UK. I was talking to John Hazelwood. He assures us that there will be a multi-surface track that we have not seen yet in RCGP, and he's looking for. It's going to be exciting for him, he says, and he's looking forward to hosting the third round of RCGP. Also, a big shout out to Beach RC. Beach RC was looking very good yesterday with Leo Valente having a good run, as well as Max Hesse, a very nice young man, very professional. You can see he's learning from the BMW junior program how to give interviews and be responsive to people. It's really good to see that side of professionalism come to RC. Of course, I'd also like to shout out to EFRA. This is an EFRA sanctioned event. It's great to see the most forward-thinking federation combining with RCGP and promoting everybody, because EFRA does great things. And we have the EFRA Euros coming up very soon, which I will be very excited to watch, because RC Racing TV will be covering many of the Euros coming up. And we haven't had any real Euro racing for the last 2 years. So we're going to remind the rest of the world that the Europeans know how to race as well. So Pascal is out to a very comfortable lead. He's got a 12.3 second lead over second. He, like I said, come in, get some fuel here soon. I believe his wife is pitting for him, and he can just cruise into the RC2 final. And he can use this. He'll have some extra practice. He can use this 15 minutes as some practice and tuning. So he'll have a slight little advantage going into the RC2 final later on today. Don't forget, Invisible Speed is also a sponsor of the podcast. The award-winning book written by JQ, Joseph Beaker Quagrain, himself. If you enjoyed the book, you will definitely enjoy the online course that he has. It's probably one of the best products out there if you are a beginner racer. Even if you've been racing for many years, there's lots of information that you can find in there, and just have them have the information on hand with the online course. So you can go to www.invisiblespeed.net and buy the book and sign up for the Invisible Speed course. Also, a big shout out to TZO 200 Tires. They are not here this weekend because there was no control tire, but shout out to Nick Hernandez, Manny Churchman, and those guys over in America. Hopefully they get, we'll see them when we get back over to America later on this year. But Pascal is still out there comfortably. Let's see. Maybe he made a mistake and Paolo is going to catch him up, or maybe he went in and got some fuel. I did see he made a mistake earlier. But Pascal's lead is now, looks like Paolo is coming in for fuel. No, Pascal is coming in for fuel. And he's out. A great fuel stop by his wife, who makes excellent brownies. She offered many to me yesterday, and since I've got her very nice people, it has invited me to come join them in Switzerland and see the Alps. So hopefully I make it there one day. Remember, guys, we still have a lot more RCGP racing coming up. We have the Super Bowl. We have one more qualifying race, and then we have the Super Bowl, then the 1 hour RCGP final. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to win that. We heard Ongaro is talking about going out on super soft tires for the 1 hour final. He says just for the concrete section. So I guess he's hoping his ability to drive on ball tires will help him out there, because I cannot see super soft tires lasting an entire hour. We have 6 minutes and 35 seconds left in this race, and Pascal is still your leader. We're following him now in the orange and white X-ray. He's just keep running clean laps. He has a big lead over Paolo. Carlo is in third, and Alice McGreen. It's great to see Alice having a good time. She's doing well. The only female racer here this weekend, racing, her and her significant other, Scott Walker. There goes Francesco walking across our booth. He would be upset. He had the pace to be in the RC2 main. I feel sorry for the young Italian. But Pascal is the lucky one so far. But anything can happen with 5 minutes and 57 seconds left to go here in Busago, Italy, at the Ospy Team track. And a big shout out to the Ospy Team crew. They've treated us well. We had a party last night. We had Marcos breaking out his DJ equipment. They had some nice Italian food for us and some frosty beverages. So we got to sit off. And one thing, the Italians know how to party. There was dancing and everything else going on while we were enjoying some after-race libation. Also, big shout out to House of RC for helping us make all this possible with the House of RC media package. If you guys haven't signed up and you want to watch the RCGP final, which is coming up shortly, later on today, you can. It's $14.99 for the month. And if you just want to watch it, get a 1 month, that's fine too. But you're going to miss out on a great 60-minute final race, I think, today between some of the top talent, or some of the top talent in the world. I mean, we could consider Ongaro as the world champion. He's also the reigning RCGP champion, followed by 2016 champion David Ronnefalk, Elliott Boots, Juan Carlos Canas is looking super fast this weekend as well. And throw in Valente, and maybe Hampus is looking good, as well as Max Hess. And some of these young guys are looking really fast out there this weekend. Can any of them pip off some of their veteran drivers? We shall see. But right now, it's still looking like Ongaro is the favorite going into the 60-minute final. Not too sure about his tire choice, though. So Paolo, let's see. Maybe it looks like Paolo is catching up to Pascal a little bit here. Let's see what the gap is when they come back here. Come back across. And it's now dropped to a 5.6 gap for Pascal. So Paolo has made up some time on Pascal somewhere. Pascal still just has to keep calm and keep it on all fours. Don't make any mistakes as he comes across the triple-double into the brick 180. That actual section that he went over is very tricky. It's got much innovations, and it's very slick. It looks flat, but it is far from flat as he goes underneath the invisible speed bridge, past the hole shot gate, and through the chicane of death. That chicane right there has caused many, many, many issues, even for top drivers. I was watching the top drivers getting as close as possible as they could to that. Some of it biting them and some not, but they get as close. It's the fastest line is just to go through there straight and stay out of the fluff. And that the problem is they have bricks right here on the 180 leading onto the straightaway. So mixed traction, mixed surfaces, always making it exciting for European racing. And it's making it exciting here this weekend. Plus the temperatures, it's hot. So, but it's good to see. Thank you to all the RC2 drivers that came out to support RCGP. Also, a big shout out to all of our American RC2 drivers that came out to support in SMB Raceway back in March in South Carolina. It was a great pleasure to hang out with all of my Southeast racing family. I hope to get to do that again later on this year because we still don't know where the USA round will be. I know the East Coast guys would love to have it on the East Coast guys, and then the West Coast guys would love to have it on the West Coast. But it does seem like the Americans love the concept of RCGP. They got plenty of track time with one chassis. I don't know if they will still continue to control tire. I'm sure they will. And it's going to be great. Let's see where it is. So Pascal has 1 minute and 42 seconds left to go, and it looks like Paolo made a mistake. Let's see when Pascal comes across. Pascal comes across the loop now. And Paolo made that mistake in the triple-double and has dropped down to 7.2 seconds. So Pascal just needs to keep calm, keep it on all four wheels, don't flame out, don't break, don't make any mistakes. And he has bumped his way into the RC2 final, and he's looking quite confident out there with his X-ray car. He's not really making any mistakes as he flies over the invisible speed bridge, under the invisible speed bridge, up and over, through the hole shot award, and over the loop through the chicane of death. "52 seconds left in this race. Can Pascal hold on, or will nerves get him? He's driving pretty smooth out there. That extra practice that he had in the semifinal has paid off, and he was able to get out to a lead. And the unfortunate mishap from the young Italian Beccacetti, his car braking, kind of gifted Pascal this lead, and he has not looked back ever since as he comes through and over the loop for what might be his last lap with 19 seconds left to go. But Pascal has driven a great race so far, very smooth, very calculated, not taking any unnecessary risks as he triple doubles into the 180, whips it around the brick 180, up and over, and that will be time. So this will be the last lap for Pascal. All he has to do is a few more left turns, and he will find his way bumping into the RC2 final for the 45-minute race later on today. Congratulations, Pascal. He wasn't too confident when I talked to him earlier, but he will be happy with that race as we see his friend Thomas Musso flagging him on with the high-vis vest. And congratulations to the man from Switzerland. Unfortunately, there's no prizes for second, third here because only first moves on, and that is the LCQ. So the grid will be set for the RC2 final. We have another RCGP qualifying race coming up, followed by Super Pole. So it's going to be interesting to see the Viking not too happy with his last performance. He had a flame out. Maybe he won't make it to this. I don't think he's going to be able to make it to the Super Bowl. But the story for him this weekend has been bad starts. But that's racing. You're not always going to have a good start, and you're not always going to do well. It's how you apply yourself. So well done to Pascal, doing it for Switzerland. He moves up, and great run for him. And unfortunate for Beccacetti because he was probably the fastest driver out there, and he had some issues with his car and it broke. So unfortunate for that. But we shall see how the RC2 final goes, which will be coming up later on today. So next up in next up in 7 minutes is the RCGP Q3.